what's going on, guys? This is Mrs. Jolly JD. Alright, what's up, guys? This is Alpha Shadow here, and today I will be giving a tutorial for all those mobile players who want to come onto PC. Now, keep in mind, I will give links in the description to Nox and to the screenshot below. Make sure you have Nox installed for that. Let's get into it. So in the corner, you'll see a gear box. Click on that, and you should see these juicy settings. Now, what you're going to see is this task right here called Soft Keyboard. What that does, it allows Nox to use your keyboard instead of in-game keyboard binds. On the top right, you'll see the small keyboard icon. Click that. On the left side of Nox, you'll see this tab pop up. And from there, you should be able to set up your own keyboard keybinds for you to use it in the game. This button right over here should be your main default WASD to use in the War Robots game. Now, if you click that, it should pop up right in front of your screen. As you see how I'm doing, you drag it on the left side of the bottom. The reason being for this is that in the game, you will have your movement set up using your customizable keybinds. As you can see in the corners, you can resize them the way you want in the game, but preferably you would actually go for like the size just as that, just so you would get the right movement. If you look at the second button, you'll see this gravity sensor here. It's only used for other games. So on the third button right over here, this is your FPS button. So what you do with this one, now this crosshair button right here is used to go in and out of the screen. Like, say for example, an annoying notification comes on your screen and you want to remove it. You right click it, and then you do what you gotta do and get back into the fight. It's easy and simple as that. Now onto the fourth button, you get the FPS button. It allows you to shoot your weapons simultaneously, like all four of them. So when you're playing War Robots, you can shoot all the weapons. All you have to do is drag out in the bottom right and you're all set. I'll explain as I show you more of the gameplay. Now this keybind right here, what it allows you to do is you can set your own keys for better optimization. Like once you click the button, you can set your own key on it. Like say for example, if you want the Q key to be your left gun and your E key to be the right gun. This will allow you to fight strategically and efficiently, but make sure you use keybinds that are easy to reach with your fingers. You don't want to make them too far away, otherwise it will exhaust your fingers and it will get you killed. So I will give you guys the right keybinds to use in battle. The other buttons on the tab are used for MOBA games or MMO games. Unless you guys are girls that like playing those, play around with them and see what they do if they help you out. But for now, it's just use the main setup. Alright, now to get into the game. Now for the correct setup in the game. Click on the shield button right over here just to get into the custom game. Whenever you're in, choose a bot, then the game HUD should show, and that's where you configure your exact settings. Now once you're in the game, click on the small keyboard in the top right again. Then the same tab on the left should show up. Once it does, get your default WASD key movement. Then once it's on the screen, all you have to do is resize it correctly and put it in the 3D movement for your bot. Make sure it fits the exact circle of it to get 100%. Anything less than that will mess up the movement. Once you have that settled in, you should be good to go. Now if you look to the bottom right, you see that my keybinds are already set up. I set my ability to my spacebar, my R to my top right gun, my E to my bottom right gun, my Q to the bottom left gun, and my backspace for my top left gun. The reason for this is that all these buttons are near each other and it will give you like a great flexibility to actually choose one another. Now once you're all done configuring your settings, all you have to do is just save it, and then I will demonstrate how good the setup is. As you can see, I can move freely around. I'm having no problems whatsoever. The only problem that you would have in the game is that if there's any lag in the match, it would kind of mess up your movement, so repress the key and the bot should move correctly again. Same for the guns too. And whatever you do, do not update to the new version of Nox, because what the problem was is I was getting issues on everything. The movement, the guns, it was so bad, so don't update it until you see the major change in the emulator software. Now for Nox, there's a simple trick you can do with your guns. Like say for example you want to shoot your guns simultaneously, except for your top one. The way to do it is a little tricky, but if you just get it right, you just press the Q and E key almost like the same time. You press Q for like a split second and for the E key at the same time. And there you have it. That's how you fire your two weapons on the side instead of firing the top gun too. Another thing I wanted to mention is that if you see the opacity on the keyboard part, it just basically shows the visibility of the buttons that you just see. All you have to do is just slide that button all the way to the left and you should be good. Now another thing I wanted to explain is that in the advanced settings, you see this performance settings right over here. Now here's the thing, if you have a low-end computer, I advise you to like pick one core and 1000 megabytes for the memory. If you have like a somewhat good computer, use 2 core. If you have like a high-end computer, use 4 core and 3000 megabytes. For me, I have a fast computer, so I put it as like a custom of 4 cores and like 8000 memory. There will be a link in the description. It would explain the custom setting for your high-end computer. Now right here are the startup settings. Now for the startup settings, you would actually start with like what your monitor would actually be. Like say for example like a 1980 by 1080. That would be like for square type of monitors. For my monitor that I use the Asus wide monitor, which is like my exact settings for like using Nox. and it would actually put like it would actually make the screen like much more wider. People would have like different monitors for like that go for like different hertz. Like say for example like 144 hertz, that would be like the highest monitor to play on. And for the DPI, I would mostly just set it to 300. Like see, it says on the bottom right there, it says in the recommended spot, it has like 150 to 480. So the recommended one would be actually 300. But if you have like a high enough monitor to go for that, just put it to like 480. But just to be on a safe side, just put it to a recommended, to like either like a 300 or 420. And now for the graphics. The thing is, for compatible OpenGL, it's not really good because I mean, on some games it would be good. It feels like doesn't require a lot of power. It would have good compatibility and you can run games smoothly, smoothly on most of the games. But if you run on DirectX, it would actually run like really good and fast. You can easily set your frame settings to either 60 or 30 FPS. But for what we're about to set it for 60, but that's only for like high-end computer. But for low-end computers, I would put it for 30. Another reason is for this, if you run for compatible on OpenGL, like if you're recording, it's gonna like really mess up the MP4 file. So I recommend you use speed DirectX. Well, that's all I have for this tutorial video. I hope you guys really learned and now have experience to enjoy the battlefield without missing any shots. Also, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, and this tutorial really helped you, show support by kabooming that like button, subscribing to the PhD community, and by the way, if you share and do all these things, you will get, I kid you not, a Mark II Raijin standing right in front of your doorstep waiting to be piloted. This is not a scam. If you do all that, it will call to like... Okay, I'm just kidding though, but thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. I love you guys, and see y'all later. Don't forget, there's a skirmish video coming soon, and also a surprise vid, so stay tuned for that, and peace out, my dude.